All right. We are the independent 88.5 FM in Southern California, as you can see, broadcasting from my home studio today again, which is also my bedroom here. Zach from The Lone Bellow is on the other screen. Have you been doing many of these?
This might be my first radio Zoom thing.
Cool, man. What about the band? Have you taken to the internet and embraced technology, doing any live streaming or anything like that? Or are you distancing yourself from one another?
So we've been distancing ourselves for the past 2 months. And I think we're going to start quarantining together like next Sunday. And we're going to start doing, we haven't come up with a name for it yet, but we're going to start doing like Sunday night shows.
So, that's cool.
We're excited about it. It's going to be like a variety show. It'll be fun. We'll have like guests, and Kanine's a really good baker. So she's going to like try to teach me and Brian how to bake. Just whatever.
Oh my goodness. So it's not just, you guys aren't just going to play music. Man, that sounds exciting. Yeah. Oh my God. See, look at the innovation, right? That comes out of this.
I'm on a Zoom call.
I know.
It's all sorts of innovation.
I've said it in previous interviews already, but why pay the cost of the overhead of the studio space or office space when we could have all been working from home, this whole time? It's crazy. So again, thelonebellow.com is the website. You guys just barely made it into our Southern California studios before we all went on lockdown. There were 2 shows at the Troubadour, and then you were talking about what went down shortly after that off the air. You said you did make it to a couple other cities after that, right?
Yeah, we were the last show. Can one of you children hang my phone up, please? Maybe the oldest, most responsible. No. Shh. This is really important stuff I'm doing.
Serious business, you guys. Come on. How old are your kids?
So, 11, 9, 6, 4. 3 girls, 1 boy.
No way. Oh my gosh, dude. Oh my gosh.
Come here, Mookie. This is my favorite one. Oh my God. Hey, buddy.
Hey, puppy. Hey, doggy. I've only got a 2-year-old, and I thought I had it tough during quarantine. Man.
Dude, it gets easier. 2 is really hard.
You think so?
Yeah, I would take 4 over the age of 2 over 1 2-year-old. Gosh, especially quarantine. Oh man.
Yeah, we're just me and my wife are both working from home, so it's like we got to work in shifts and chase the toddler around in shifts. But I feel for you as well. Anyway, there were 2 shows at the Troubadour in Los Angeles, and then you made it up to where before?
Yeah, so we played a few other shows, and then we were the last night in Seattle, and then we were the last night in Portland. They shut it down during our show when we found out that night. And and then we flew home from Santa Monica, and the bus drove home so that we could just like get home as fast as we can. Mm-hmm. And like while I was on the plane, the president was giving the national state of emergency. It was really weird. Like everybody was watching it on the screens. So like all 100 of us all watching the same thing at the same time, and like it was a moment. It was
yeah, I bet, man. So aside from chasing the kids around and stuff, you have any time for yourself, reading books or even writing music or anything like that?
Dude, I went on Craigslist, and I've always wanted to do this. I went on Craigslist, and I picked up an old piano off of this sweet family like 2 days ago. That's what we're sitting on right here. It is.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
So my 9-year-old and I are doing piano lessons together.
Nice.
Exactly why I'm at the piano on the Zoom call, because we were just now doing it. So
That's cool.
We were recording and writing and having a lot of fun with music for sure. And then just like talking to friends. You know, I've got a lot of friends kind of in the hospitality industry. So
who are probably not working, I imagine, or furloughed.
Yeah, not working. Yeah.
Yeah.
My good buddy Will Guidero, actually, I did like this Instagram live chat thing, and I was talking about hospitality, and he has such an incredible mind towards it. And Will is I've always known that Will was like a big deal, but like never went to his restaurant or anything. And like 3 days ago, he was at the White House with with all the dudes, with Trump and all his people.
Wow.
Like advocating for restaurants. So he was like, wow. Hey, I represent 11 million workers and 500,000 restaurants, and we need the PPP to go through August. And I was like, Will, wow. Hey, you're like famous.
It's incredible. Yeah. We're having a weird famous moment today, actually. In fact, I don't know when this is going to air. Hey.
That's my lead pad.
That's good. Pad. Yeah, you got a lead pad.
Yeah, it's my lead pad.
Is that just a tablet?
Trying to get some sponsorships.
Yeah, and it's my lead.
Oh, you should see. I got kid stuff everywhere, man. We're having a weird celebrity moment today, actually. And in fact, this might air a little bit later, but as we tape this, we just announced that Joe Walsh is going to do a radio show every Saturday night on our station.
Yes.
And Rolling Stone picked it up, and they put out an article as well. So the first time the station's ever got mentioned in Rolling Stone. So
that's
we're
incredible.
we're still buzzing in the afterglow of that right now. So it's cool. And Joe, man, like he recorded these promos to run during the week, you know. It seems like his radio show is going to be pretty cool. He seems like quite the character.
Oh man, you know what? I saw Joe Walsh open for Tom Petty like a month before Tom Petty passed away. I had a night off in Oklahoma City.
Wow.
And I love his voice. He's just like, I think probably even talking, like you hear him and it's just like, that's Joe Walsh. No doubt about it.
I know. My boss says he sounds like an older Spicoli from Fast Times at Ridgemont High or whatever.
Dude, that's spot on.
You know?
Yeah.
I know. And I bet the stage banter is worth the price of admission alone, seeing Joe Walsh.
Oh yeah, man.
You know, yeah. All right. So Half Moonlight is the record from The Lone Bellow. It's available right now. Again, produced by a friend of yours, Aaron from The National, right?
That's right.
Yeah. An artist that you've worked for in the past. If people want to do the deep dive, The Lone Bellow, self-titled record, came out in 2013. People were talking about it almost immediately. And I'm sure at that time you kind of had to pinch yourself, especially in the sort of Americana and country world, you know, believe it or not. Then in 2015, another record then came The Morning, Walk Into the Storm in 2017, and you worked with Dave Cobb on that one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What's your relationship like with him? Because, oh my God, it's a revolving door of artists coming to our station.
Oh man.
Working with him.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
Well, for one, I do like this quiet little writing project with him called Low Country, where like me and 3 or 4 other guys just like help people write songs. So it's fun staying in touch with him and working with him with that.
Cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. He's great.
We've been playing Count on Me a little bit, and for the past couple of weeks, the song "Good Times" off the new record. Again, Half Moon. Oh, of course, it sounds great. I don't know why. It's just such a radio song too. Actually,
I mean, they were like, "We're gonna take this to radio," and I was like, "This song has like 1 million words. It's not gonna work at radio." And they were like, "No, we think it's like, you know, like the end of the world as we know it, kind of." I was like, yeah, numerically, it might have the same number of words. but I don't know.
No, I think it works for us. It's the tempo and everything.
It's sweet.
Yeah. So again, we're here with Zach from The Lone Bellow. Your bandmates Brian and Kaneen will be catching up with you real soon, and as you guys take your variety show to the internet. Man, I never looked at your Wikipedia. Yeah.
I'm out of here. I'm leaving. I'm going outside. You never looked at the Wikipedia? Don't burn the house down.
Until recently, and you don't believe everything you read on the internet.
Yeah.
Are you in Brooklyn right now? Is that where you live?
No, I live in Nashville.
Oh, do you? Yeah.
Yeah. I lived in Brooklyn for 10 years. I love Brooklyn.
And everybody's in Nashville now?
Yeah.
Your bandmates? Oh, cool. Right on.
Yeah. We're all in like East Nashville. Really close to where the tornado came through, actually.
Oh my God. Right. The tornado and then this COVID-19 crisis. The Nashville people have had it pretty tough lately. So I gotta mention, reading stuff on the internet, The Lone Bellow really came from you, man. And you, as if I gather correctly, you went through some tough times personally, right?
Yeah.
You and your wife, and you started. Was that the catalyst of you sort of writing in a journal?
So I think I started writing music. We went through this tragedy where my wife fell off. I grew up on a farm. She fell off one of the horses and she broke her neck, like C1, C3, C5, C6, and was diagnosed quadriplegic. And we lived at this place called Shepherd Center in Atlanta, Georgia. It's where Christopher Reeves, remember Superman?
Yeah.
Reeves? Yeah. It's like where he passed away. Is this incredible hospital. But she miraculously healed. Like one of those things where the doctors were like, hey, we don't know what happened, but you got to get out of here because it's bad for morale. We were like, okay.
Wow.
And me and my buddies, I had these buddies that would come stay with me at the hospital, and they were the ones that like talked me into trying to learn how to play the guitar and sing at the same time, and then like go down to an open mic. And I was reading them these journal entries that I had from living in the hospital, and they were like, you should just make these songs and just go sing for strangers. So I would go to this Starbucks and just weep. Just like, it was so cathartic. It was so good for me. And that's where like I really fell in love with songwriting. So then
did you feel like you had a knack for singing and playing the guitar at the same time, or was that a tough learning curve?
It was awful. My brain doing the two things at once.
Sure.
It was bad for me. But I had these friends, and we were like, hey, if Stacy ever gets better, let's all move to New York City together. Just like the old, whatever. We had seen Friends or something. And so she's pulling up to the drive right now. Thank God. I don't have to take care of the kids anymore. So she got better. So we all moved up, and like the first gig I got was like one of the last nights that CBGB's was open. So I played like the little room of CBGB's. It was like 4 people. And I just started playing the bars in New York for 7 or 8 years. And then, we went through some other like marital insanity, like probably shouldn't have made it through, but we did.
Wow.
And that's when I formed The Lone Bellow. And having Brian and Kaneen just be a part of that healing was just like such a beautiful thing. And then to see that it like became a band and that we've been doing it for almost a decade, it's like, it really is something.
I didn't realize that you had been performing on your own for such a long time, even before The Lone Bellow happened.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Yeah. Did you have an affinity for a certain kind of music or certain genres or different artists even before you picked up the guitar, like in your formative years, living on a farm, I guess? Did you gravitate towards music at all?
Yeah. So I grew up in a gospel singing family.
Amazing.
My grandmother and all my grandparents and their brothers and sisters, they all had like an old gospel quartet called the Justice Trio that like traveled around way back in the 50s and 60s, and then I grew up in like a really conservative home, musically conservative. Like basically, it's weird, but I wasn't allowed to listen to music that wasn't church music unless it was the oldies. The oldies didn't count. So I grew up listening to CCR and Otis Redding and Bill Withers and Aretha and just like whatever was on the radio, you know? So that was like my jam. So I think the first non-oldies album that I secretly bought was Whitney Houston Bodyguard soundtrack, the soundtrack to the movie.
Yes, dude.
This is a good one.
Oh man, I feel like most of us have stories like that, or a cassette tape or something that we purchased back in the day before we knew
what was
better.
your first? What's your first cassette
I
tape?
remember I mentioned this in one interview, may have been with you. I remember going back home and digging through some of my old stuff, and there was a cassette tape of Michael Jackson's Bad or something.
Oh,
And I had put Scotch tape on the top. Remember how you used to be able to do that and re-record over the tapes?
yeah.
So I pop it in, right? I pop it in, and it's a bunch of Rob Zombie songs that I was really into in the 90s. Which is pretty funny. But dude, I picked up a LeAnn Rimes cassette back in the day, and
dude, that first hit song that got me too, man. I was like, ooh, how old are you? Oh, you're my age?
oh, okay, so you understand then. I don't.
Oh yeah.
I don't need to say any more, right?
No.
Well, I appreciate you being so candid, man, with sort of your backstory. And I really had no idea until now. And of course, you fast forward till now. It's not only the subject matter and the lyrics, but it's the musicianship and how well the three of you sing together. And not only that, it's the live performance, which is so good. You know, you've been to the radio station a couple of times, but I mentioned to you before that. You know, I'll never forget the performance in San Diego at the Birch Aquarium, where you guys completely rocked it.
Dude, that was such a fun show.
Right.
Oh man, that was so fun. And those two Troubadour shows were insane. You guys had an event and you couldn't make it, but man, I can't wait to get back out there. I can't wait to get back out. How's everybody feeling in California? I mean,
we're all right.
Yeah.
You mentioned the Troubadour, and you know they're really hurting right now, and it's all the people who, you know, the bartenders and the front of house people or whatever, and the you know, the security guards. They're all out of work, and the owner of the Troubadour, the GM, recently, you know, said that they might not even be able to, you know, reopen because they got no income coming in. So there is this organization, NEVA, National Association of Venue some owners or something like that.
The independent venue thing?
Yeah, that, and I think it's saveourstages.com is the website, and we're all trying to lobby.
Making all sorts of noises on Instagrams and stuff about it.
Right, you know, so it's them, and it's venues like Hotel Cafe that are hurting. Amoeba, legendary record store in Hollywood, had to close its doors prematurely. We always knew that they were moving down the street, but they had to pack it up prematurely. So they're kind of hurting right now. So I feel thankful that, you know, our engineer set us up with microphones and things, and we're still broadcasting and doing radio stuff. You know, but there's so many other people who are not working, and it sucks.
Yeah, man.
You know, yeah.
Yeah.
What was your last job that wasn't radio or music related?
I worked in a basement on Lafayette in Soho. I folded jeans. It was like at yeah, I just folded jeans all day long. It was at a G-Star. Have you ever heard of G-Star? It's like this super Euro clothing company. I wasn't allowed upstairs. They were like, you do not fit in. You stay down there. I was like, okay, fine.
Okay.
I just stayed downstairs and did my thing. And I tried to do real estate in New York, which was a total joke. I got fired like immediately. I couldn't lie to people. They'd be like, you got to push people into decisions. I was like, I'd rather die. They're like, well, you're fired. And I was like,
yeah. I don't think my brain is wired to like do sales either, type of thing, you know? Yeah. I'm not a closer. So again, I've been telling people to support artists, and if you can, if you're in the position to buy some merch or a record, or go to a band's website and pick up a bumper sticker or something, do that. A little bit goes a long way. Again, thelonebellow.com is the website. We got to wrap it up. Anything else to touch on before we kind of go, dude?
Nah, man. Love you guys.
So much, man.
We'll see you again soon.
I hope so. You always have an open invitation to come by and visit us when you're in town. And
right.
we'll be catching up with your stuff. And when you and your bandmates take to the web, then we'll be there for you.
All right, man.
I'll be here like with popcorn.
Nice. See ya.
All right. Take care of your family. Talk to you soon.
All right. You too. Bye.